What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Travis Hunter.
And Liana.
And we back with another
video.
As a good friend of yours, his relationship is public, and people are beating him up about it. Travis.
Oh, yeah, I've had been.
Although Jacksonville has experienced difficult seasons in the past, this one is unlike any other. A 413 season was meant to be the lowest point. Title: Travis Hunter is the draft's diamond. Rather, what was supposed to be a new beginning has turned into a slow-motion collapse. As a result of Hunter's skill on the field being stifled by the Jaguars are not merely attempting to bounce back from defeats. Now, as one man's personal life spills into every nook and cranny, they are attempting to withstand a toxic storm of the franchise. The match has been Hunter's marital drama, and the locker room smells like gasoline.
They gotta just figure that out. That's their business. You feel me? And yeah, it is hard.
Yeah.
I know. It'd be tough.
He ought to have been their response. At Colorado, the phenom played both sides of the ball, with a smile that could light up the draft, the Heisman winner stage. He is now the focus of gossip sites instead. Liana Len, his young wife, makes news with every sidelong glance, every resurfaced video, and every mutter about her history. From the resurfacing party film to the direct reminders that Hunter declined to participate in the Heisman ceremony, when she appeared as if she would prefer to be somewhere else, to sign a prenuptial agreement in spite of senior veterans' advice to safeguard the bag. He has been pursued into Jacksonville by everything. A private marriage that ought to have been colleagues are now analyzing joy like movie research. When his name is spoken, the veterans in that room don't hesitate to roll their eyes. We are aware that trust is essential in football locker rooms. The notion that internal poisoning cannot be caused by external factors. Hunter's home life, however, has changed. At practice, it's in the air. It's in the way that, although veterans complain about diversions on social media, rookies jump up to protect him. When half the roster is concerned about making the 50th cut, it's evident in the way he smiles as he walks in after giving Liana another fancy car. Additionally, as he passes their purported star quarterback Trevor Lawrence, body language speaks for itself. The united front is not this. It's a chilly war, fermenting within the walls.
We were like 3-4 months in, we were like, okay, like we're falling in deep in love with each other. We went through a phase where we fought like every single day.
He described Hunter as gifted, commended his adaptability, and even egotistically stated he want him to play more offensively. However, pay more attention to the words. It's not unconditional. It's a compliment disguised as a courteous shrug. The way he makes light of Hunter's desire to the type of statement that sounds adorable in the media but radiates slight exhaustion behind closed doors is catch touchdowns. Or perhaps break up a pass or two. Cracks develop in this way. When the quarterback who is supposed to provide stability begins to sound like he's fed up with being a babysitter. Additionally, the remainder of the locker room stops acting when the quarterback starts to sound exhausted. Now everyone has heard it. In the huddle, paranoia veterans question whether rookies are making fun of them, inquiring rookies about whether the leaders are planning behind their backs. It's unclear if Lawrence's sporadic compliments of Hunter are genuine or well-practiced. Like a permanent taint, the young star's marital scandal has seeped into team meetings. Everyone is aware that reality is perception. Distractions are poison in a league. On Sundays, Jacksonville does not play opponents. They are battling internal
because you find people soft spot and you squeeze. That's the cruel world we're living in.
What was left was then exploded by the rumor that followed. The so-called betrayal tapes from the locker room. Nobody is aware. According to rumors, Hunter was caught on camera disparaging his own colleagues and making fun of the veterans, suggesting that Trevor Lawrence boasts that the franchise needs him more than anybody else and is envious of the attention he brings. Perhaps it's accurate. Perhaps it's a well-planned falsehood. In any case, it has taken off like wildfire, because as soon as you hint that players are surreptitiously filming one another, every discussion turns dubious. Every sidelong glance seems like proof. Imagine now entering that locker room. Consider attracting your quarterback's attention and asking him if he has heard the audio on which you described him as insecure. What if you're a 30-year-old lineman with 10 years of scars? It's a virus, not just a rumor. And it's infecting the Jaguars more quickly than any defensive plan can stop it.
Maintain such a healthy relationship.
Don't let social media be in your relationship.
Okay.
Practice grounds have become tightrope walks because of trail whispers. No longer is a dropped pass merely an error. It's a cause of paranoia. Lawrence's sigh is analyzed like a news release. Liam Cohen, the head coach, can speak Hunter's inventiveness and balance while playing both sides of the ball. However, when the players are suspiciously observing one another's backs rather than showing solidarity, those statements are meaningless. the absence of trust causes football to fail. The athlete Travis Hunter is no longer the only focus of this. This concerns a franchise that was, after years of being mediocre and frail, now on the verge of collapse because the personal story of one individual has turned into a problem for everyone. The Jaguars are engaged in more than just winning games. To remind themselves that this is still the case, they are struggling to maintain their identity regarding football. However, the poison gets stronger every day, and every rumor makes it less likely that they will live. Collectively,
How do you deal with arguments or disagreements?
Talk. I was just about to say that one.
You was?
Yeah.
We just talk it out. We have to talk out everything. We go with
Liana and Travis are more than simply a couple. They have positioned themselves as royalty from Jacksonville. The red carpet smiles, the matching costumes, and the fancy cars with bows wrapped around them like props for an internet audience are all examples of it. Subtle domestic life is not what this is. It's a show. On their wedding day, he gives her a Mercedes. She presents him with his ideal truck, and it's like watching a reality show on Instagram for rookies who are barely making ends meet on league minimum contracts. Men who served in the military for 10 years, watching the couple show off their fairy tale while silently fuming while enduring free agency pay cutbacks. It's not about love here. No longer. It has to do with optics. The question is whether the locker room culture was founded on when a 22-year-old rookie makes the squad feel like extras in his influencer lifestyle. Grit and sacrifice can endure.
Never post when you don't have problems.
Okay.
And be honest. Always. Always be honest.
I feel. You got the ring on right now?
No, I
The clock whispers about the absence of a slither around the corridors, only heightening the stress. There is no safety net, no contract, and nothing separating the Jaguars' future star from the monetary dangers of a very visible marriage. It's more than simply gossip to teammates. It provides insight into priorities. It appears to them that Hunter is placing a wager instead of playbook loyalty. He made his wealth on Instagram loyalty. Veterans are shaken by the idea of leaving millions unprotected in a league where careers may end on a single twisted ankle. Heads. Has this child come to star in his own soap show or to establish a dynasty? Furthermore, the questions loop back to the field itself cannot be disregarded. Hunter's biggest weapon was supposed to be his two-way talent, offense and defense, wide receiver and cornerback, interceptions on one side, highlight reel catches on the other. However, what appeared to be genius is now beginning to feel like arrogance. He aspires to be the hero in every picture and be everywhere at once, and in doing so, he reflects the disorder in life. Dispersed, distracted, and overextended. It was common in college to play both ways, versus seasoned NFL veterans in an attempt to duplicate it. That's a more dangerous gamble than genius.
Things just not gonna be perfect.
in a perfect world it is.
This ain't no perfect world.
What the eye already perceives is revealed by the statistics, defensive statistics that belong on another player's resume, along with 92 receptions, over 1,000 yards, and 16 touchdowns completely. But how long can one man do two jobs at this level, where every rep grinds down the body? The coaches have a suggested balance, although acknowledging that his natural stance could be defensive. Fans, however, witness Lawrence pleading for him to score, and colleagues privately question whether he's after fame rather than endurance. It is not a dearth of talent that is the two-way star's misfortune. He is simply too gifted to make a decision. He also runs the risk of losing everything. In his attempt to be everything, Lawrence's part in all of this is starting to take on a life of its own, one that resembles a chess game played in whispers more than it does leadership. At first glance, he appears to be the polished face of the brand, giving cameras a comforting smile while praising Hunter's skill. However, underneath that allure is a developing feeling of computation. He has begun to use surgical precision while choosing his words. Never quite joyous, but always encouraging, as if he wants the youngster to be raised just enough to take responsibility when things go wrong. The kind of nuanced placement that transforms a changing room into a theater. Each sentence is a script. Each pause serves as a signal.
Actually hate this entire situation because it didn't need to get to this point if people just kept things private.
Activates younger players who gravitate around him, while the veterans, many of whom are fervently devoted to watch the divide widen. Lawrence, the quarterback, is exempt from making speeches or calling meetings. His quiet is what gives him power, in the way he turns away when Hunter's name is called during a news conference, in the way he stays on the practice field with teammates after the youngster has went away. These are moments of nothingness too, the inexperienced sight. When men are engaged in a struggle for dominance, they are warning shots. Here, it's easy to see Lawrence taking the long view. He has experienced coaching changes, losing streaks, and injuries. He is aware of the vulnerability of a quarterback's command in a locker room that is in disarray. leaving Hunter to enjoy the attention. Perhaps the most subdued kind of sabotage is to let him flaunt his lifestyle without interference. The more attention the novice takes in, the more weight he must carry. And if he falters, the crash will be even more dramatic. Lawrence might regain his position as the unchallenged leader in that collapse, no longer taking center stage with a two-way prodigy and his attention-grabbing union.
Actually going to discuss this whole Travis Hunter situation. Originally, I was like, we're going to talk about the couple. We'll get to that because this is bothering me a little bit, y'all. So it's time.
Insiders are beginning to believe that Lawrence doesn't even need to promote this story. All he needs to do is hold on. Every social media outburst from his wife, every resurrected story regarding Hunter's personal life, and every viral video contributes to the impression that the novice is unsteady. Time itself may be Lawrence's most potent weapon. He establishes himself as the patient constant, the person everyone else finally turns to by remaining steady, while Hunter spirals back to the point at which the drama is intolerable. Naturally, the risk of this tactic is that it could contaminate the team that cannot be fixed. Silent uprisings don't remain silent indefinitely. They simmer until everything is brought to light by a single game, a single poor play, or a single eruption of rage. Additionally, it won't just be Hunter came to light. Lawrence will also be there, shown as a leader who made the decision to subtly influencing public cohesiveness. That information has the potential to split the fan base just as much as it does the locker room. The Jaguars could end up in a civil war, where both of the team's alleged pillars are dragged through the mud.
It was like, it was a weird area, and I just said,
Plot's ambiguity is what makes it so compelling. It's unclear to us if Lawrence is actually tugging strings or if all we're seeing is a frustrated quarterback lose his cool. We're not sure whether his cool detachment is cowardice or genius, but just the prospect has teammates talking, fans giddy and analysts whispering, thinking twice before he smiles for the cameras, and the Jaguars' future is at stake in that uncertainty. Not on Hunter's hands, but on whether Lawrence has decided to light the fuse in private already. The picture is darker, developing. Imagine a rookie who burns out before the game because he is so focused on proving he can be both a celebrity and a savior. The season even transitions into winter. Imagine a marriage that is continuously put to the test in the public eye. No fancy automobiles, prenuptial agreements waiting in the wings, or viral dances that cover up the flaws underneath. The Jaguars, they drafted a powder keg, not simply a superstar. Each catch, each tackle, each rumor about his wife's history, or his use of Instagram feels like one more burden on a young man who is already struggling to keep up.
Now I want to get into a story I've seen percolating in the headlines and social media. And that's about Heisman Trophy winner Travis Hunter and his fiancée, Liana Lene.
Just when the team believed it had heard the worst of the rumors, a new one about the so-called wife's covert NFL connections made its way into the news. According to the rumors, Liana isn't only a passenger. Allegedly, she has ties to management's inner circles and even relies on them. Impact to mold Hunter's role decisions. Is she pressuring him to take action, get more attention? Does she want more pictures, more publicity, more highlights? That easily fit into a story about them being the league's golden couple. Although there is no proof, the conjecture alone is enough to arouse suspicion. In hushed tones, players are asking, do football tactics still play a role, or is the strategy being altered by someone's personal life? Although power couples have been observed in the past, they hardly ever enter a locker room already broken by defeat. Demand and seasons take center stage. It is rare for colleagues to have to consider whether their careers, employment, and very futures are being impacted not only by a coach's playbook, but through the invisible intervention of a newlywed 23-year-old with an internet following. What starts out as rumors turns into something more serious. The possibility that the Jaguars are no longer a team in the conventional sense, but rather the backdrop of a scandal-driven program where each gaffe fuels the next viral clip.
Of course, we're going to discuss it because he is a celebrity. This is part of the news. People are going to talk about it, whether you want them to talk about it or not. You have to learn that you don't have to address everything.
Thus, we are looking at a franchise that is on the verge of collapse. The Jaguars aren't only dealing with September's routine contests, they are gazing at the prospect of a season that is now over. A budding celebrity drowning in his own aspirations. A quarterback slipping away in silence. Uncertain of whom to believe in a locker room. And a city anxiously observes their alleged rescuer and his spouse converted Avil into a factory for headlines. Will the upheaval cause Jacksonville to collapse? Is Trevor Lawrence going to draw at last? A line and assume command? Or has the well been irreparably contaminated by Travis Hunter? It has been years since the league seen such a catastrophic off-field collapse. The question looms large. Is Hunter the football industry's future, or or the storm that will destroy his team? Leave a comment below with your opinions, poison or savior. Which side are you on? Hold your breath till the next time, because Sunday isn't when the true drama in Jacksonville happens.